just unfortunately have to record it then. But that's fine. Oh, we'll have to go through all that intro again, Sean.
It wasn't much.
Yeah, luckily we didn't really start. But yes, okay. Blah. I have to redo that. We did do this live. It died. My internet just took a shit.
Yes.
I
apologise to anyone that tuned in and it just crashed.
Yeah, or it tuned in and was like, why are they not live? The lying bastards. It's my internet. I apologise. I'll get into that in the random ting section of the podcast. But hello and welcome to the Mind Over Madness podcast, episode 18. Thank you for joining us. If you watch this on YouTube or Twitch, I mean, I'll upload it to both since I said we'd do it live, so I'll upload it to Twitch as well. But thank you very much for taking the time to do this. You'll notice as well, I will say this much during the stream, fuck, see, I think we're streaming again, Sean. I think we're streaming. I'm used to it now.
We are, kind of.
Yeah,
we're streaming each other.
Yes, exactly. If you notice with this podcast, there's no kind of clips going on screen, there's no images, there's nothing like that. I'm not editing this. I'm literally going to just render it out, send it, off it goes. So, on that note, welcome to the podcast. If you have never been here before, we start off with the news, then we go into gaming, then films, and then we hit the random tings and we talk about our random topics of issue. So, yes. I did make a joke, kind of a joke against COVID, being like, it's gone away, but it won't have the same impact because I've done it once. So we're going to skip that routine. So, yeah, we'll just get straight into the news. Again, apologies to anyone that went to come and watch this live. Out of my hands, I tried.
Lie, little internet bird.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll talk about lockdown, as is customary. Very first thing of these things. Which it wasn't a planned thing to do it on lockdown every single week or 2 weeks now.
It's just happened.
It just happens.
It does.
So there's ripples on the horizon of a second national lockdown and a second wave of infections, because I believe every 7 days the cases everywhere seem to be doubling.
Yeah.
And some people put it down to like more tests, but I don't think there's not that many more tests going on.
To be honest, Boris is failing to do any more tests. He keeps making up numbers like we'll have 500,000 by this time, and it never happens because he's a liar. So, you know, yeah, not shocking, not shocking.
So yeah, do we think we'll have a second national lockdown?
I think they'd be stupid not to.
Yeah.
Personally, in my opinion, like again, the thing is, I know they're doing these local lockdowns and stuff, but they're not technically lockdowns. You can still go to work. You can still go to the shops. You can still hang out within groups of 6. Where's the lockdown? There is no lockdown. Like,
there's
I know
that. Scientists saying like, what is this rule of 6? You know,
yeah,
it doesn't really make any sense.
Well, it doesn't. I mean, you know, you can meet up with, 6 different people from the same family. Even then, you're gonna spread the virus between family members and stuff like that. Well, you can't meet inside. Well, it's been proven it can still spread outside because people don't wear masks. So, and no one is social distancing. That rule fucking left ages ago. No.
It's funny because they've not got the like emphasis on social distancing anymore. Like that is like the last thing, because the new slogan, hand, space, and space. Like space is last.
Notice that.
Space is the most important thing in not transmitting this virus. A mask is useless if you're just like that close to each other.
And if the thing is, if you're wearing it, you're protecting everyone else. But if other people ain't, you ain't protected.
Yeah.
So I mean,
while the mask and the hands are important, like it's the space that is the most important thing, single most important thing. Socially distance.
If you don't socially distance,
that is going to stop it. So it should be space, hands, and face.
Yes.
In my opinion.
Much better. I mean,
the race to space.
What's kind of your do you think there'll be another national I mean, I know there are talks of England going into another entire kind of widespread lockdown, because it's not really a lockdown, but yeah.
I think all the regions seem to be kind of making it a bit more similar now between it, because it was all confusing. That's why they brought in this rule of 6. We'll make it a bit less confusing for everyone, and Scotland and Wales are kind of following the same suit. So I'm guessing there might be another like UK wide lockdown, but it's not going to be the same lockdown as the lockdown in March.
Even
it's
though
going to be you can stay at home where possible, but go to work, go to school, go to shops, go to nightclubs, go to pubs.
Don't use pubs, but use pubs. Have a drink. Don't have a drink. Go to a drink.
Stay in. But go to all these places.
We're back to square one, literally. It's only been a year. It started in March. It's nearly the end of September.
I know. Everyone's going to think, oh, this is just so ridiculous now.
Yeah. I mean, I stand by what I said before. They opened the country too soon. I don't give a shit when it says, oh, school's important. Really? Is it that important? I'm not being funny. I never really needed it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not in a great place. Don't get me wrong. But I've got jobs, no problem. Like my GCSEs results and shit have never really haunted me. So I don't know. I get education is important, but it was not important enough to risk a pandemic happening again. And it is happening again now. They're refusing to close the schools. They're refusing to close pubs. Instead, they're just giving a curfew, which, again, doesn't mean shit. I think I told you this yesterday when we were playing games. There was a woman from Newcastle who was like, on one hand, it's good because, you know, it protects people. On the other hand, it ruins my night out. Like, your night out means shit.
This is the thing. I think the blame in the past few weeks has been shifted to young people as if, like obviously some of them are kind of going out and doing all these things and not caring about distancing and stuff, but some of them, a lot of them aren't, and they kind of are sticking by the rules. And there was that whole Matt Hancock saying, "Don't kill your granny," which is like, obviously that's kind of
bleak,
referring to the fact that it's the old people who are more vulnerable from this virus, and they're the ones who are going to suffer the consequences of it more than young people. Like in general, like obviously there are exceptions.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a bit like putting all the blame on the young people. Like we love to blame people in this country.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the millennials get blamed for everything as well.
Yeah.
Millennials are killing avocado. You know, that kind of bullshit.
It's just older people with the holier than thou attitude to everyone. Like,
yeah.
Back in my day, you know, you've been bored.
I gotta admit, my grandparents are fucking brilliant. Every time I see my granddad, he's like, "Is that COVID bollocks still going on?" I'm like, "Yeah, still happening." He went, "Can't that virus just fuck off?" I was like, I wish, man. I wish that could happen. But,
my granddad was a bit like that at the start, but he's gotten used to it now. I think everyone's just gotten used to wearing a mask outside and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, at the same time, I'm just sending young people back to university, back to colleges, back to schools. So what do they expect? You can see all your friends in college and school, but you're not allowed to see them outside.
Makes no fucking sense. And this is something that I just don't get. Is they're like, well, schools are socially distancing. Have you seen the fucking pictures coming out, Boris? Or are you just not caring? You know, like, people are not so, like, maybe in the classroom, maybe for, you know, an hour, they're sitting apart. But when they're travelling to the classroom, they're coughing all over each other. They're probably fucking each other in the disabled toilets. Let's be honest here. You're in the UK. Like, let's not fuck around the bush. But I don't know. It's a weird situation because I get where they're going with it in the sense of like, oh, rule of six, you know, just hang out with 6 family members at once. And so, oh, that makes sense. Schools are still open and still go to work, though. That contradicts that.
Still have a bubble with another household.
It makes no sense. Like, me and Vic were actually discussing this. We were talking about how, you know, if a second lockdown does happen, let's face it, it's not going to be as serious as the original one. Not unless it gets to a point where, which we'll touch on in a minute, like death rates are going up exponentially, in which case then they might close the entire country again and stop people going to work or whatever. But Boris is just against it. He does not want another lockdown, even though he's being pressured to put one on. He won't do it. He's like, nope, not happening. Sorry, we can't afford it. And no. I mean, they've talked already about, you know, stopping everyone's people who get benefits and stuff. Yes, that includes me. You know, even for like, you know, disabilities, like the ones I have for my legs and whatever, they're talking about stopping them at the end of the year because they just cannot afford to pay people anymore, which is fine. That's fair enough. But then the virus isn't going to go away because you're not giving money out. You know, you're still sending people to work and they're spreading it.
Yeah.
But it's contradictory again. They're going back. They've gone from being contradictory to somewhat kind of understandable to just completely against and contradictory again.
Yeah.
Like we just talked about. Go to work, don't go to work. Touch your friend's arse, don't touch your friend's arse. Maybe have a hug. Don't touch too long, though. Maybe a 2-second hug. Maybe socially distance while you hug. You know?
I mean, can you imagine like this generation of young people who just sat their exams and stuff like, and that whole fiasco of the U-turn of like giving them results based on an algorithm and stuff.
Oh Christ!
The amount of distrust they must have for the government going forward, you know, they're all going to be like rebelling and stuff in the future.
Yeah.
Because they're just going to be like not scarred for life, but you know, affected by this, and just have just no interest in trusting the government ever again. Like with all of this, and the amount of mixed messages they're getting, and the amount of confusing and like.
I mean, I think I stopped trusting the government. Yeah, when COVID hit, because they're doing the same thing they did before. This is what I don't get. They're repeating the same mistake, and I don't know if you would agree. You may not, but it comes across like they're doing the same thing. They're waiting too long to do closures and lockdowns again. They're just holding off until it's too late. And scientists are like, didn't you learn in the beginning? You know, you waited 2 weeks. And what happened? Everything went up like we predicted, but you didn't listen because you're a fucking ape. So what do you do now? Do you take our advice and listen to what the scientists are saying and being like, okay, we know we can see it rising. In 2 weeks' time, it's going to be worse. Let's do something about it now so it doesn't get worse and we can open up sooner. No, you're still waiting. I can't.
Like they can see the water in the pan boiling up and they're waiting for it to boil over before they do anything.
I don't get it. To me, it doesn't make any sense. Like the idea that, you know, we've been in this position before. You know, deaths are rising again. The infection rate is going up again. And yet they're doing the same thing they did before, except this time they're like, oh, you know, as you said, hands or face, hands and space. I don't even know the fucking slogan because it's just complete bollocks. But I get why they have the slogan to try and encourage it. But it just it feels like their priorities are still in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to you know, the infection rate and stuff. They're like, oh, it's fine. And Boris won't answer any questions. He just keeps deflecting it and being like, well, I'll answer it like this, but this is not the actual answer to your question. Your question was stupid, so fuck you. So
politician speak, isn't it?
Yeah.
They'll do anything to not answer the question and answer about a million other questions, but not the actual one.
It's just fuck them. Like, I'm exhausted, man. When it comes to this shit as well, it's just tiring. I mean, even the Welsh and Scottish minister have both stood up and said Boris isn't doing enough anymore. He's not talking to us anymore. He's not having conversations with the leaders of these different countries, and he's just not talking to them. He's not telling them what the plan is. He's just going, well, broccoli, cheese, tomato, and sometimes a bit of lettuce, and it's
a perfect lunch.
Fuck it, go on. Let him go on Ready Steady Cook. Let him do that. Is that even a thing anymore? Let him start.
Doesn't do that anymore.
let him start up that show again. Let him be the fuck. I'm sure you'll love it. It's oven ready. Let's get it in. It's fucking ridiculous.
So obviously there's like, I think it was like last weekend or the weekend before, people were trying to get like one last party weekend before these whole like local lockdowns going in place and the rule of six. So a lot of people were trying to make the most of it, which isn't really in the spirit of things. But goes back to what we've been saying before. Why do they announce these things and say it starts on Monday when it's a Thursday?
Yeah, exactly. It's like you're asking for people, spread it as much as you can, and then we'll do everything about it.
Obviously, someone had a party planned at the weekend. They didn't want to cancel it. Probably Boris there.
He probably wanted to go out and have a drink with his father. You know, he's about as useful as a fucking dead tortoise. I mean, the thing I don't get is that I understand. I can understand it from this perspective. Maybe him being reluctant to close things again because he knows more jobs will be lost. He knows the economy's going to get hit hard again. Maybe he's trying to avoid that. Okay, let's accept that part. But he's still doing things that contradict his fucking rules. Like we said, the schools, the fucking, you know, going out and not enforce. Fuck, no one is enforcing the fucking rules. No one. No. Not even police. Police have even said, don't report people. Talk to them first and ask them to stop. Yeah. Fucking seriously? Do you think that's going to work?
Yeah.
We're British. Try asking us to stop something and you'll get a middle finger or a slap. Like, don't ask. Just ring the police and be like, I'm not asking them. That's your fucking job. You're meant to enforce it. Yeah.
We have a program called like the worst neighbors ever or something. Like we thrive on reporting people.
I know, literally. And the thing is, I understand they're kind of like, it's the community spirit. You know, you don't want this virus to spread. You know, report people that aren't doing it, but make sure. Sorry, I'm talking like Boris now. But make sure, you know, you ask them to disperse first, so it's fair. Fuck fair. If they're not listening to the rules, they should be paying that £1,922 fine. Plain and simple.
Yeah, definitely.
Why is there a fucking warning system? Yeah,
like maybe, I don't know, one warning, but if they don't listen, then it's like a very severe punishment.
Yeah, well,
maybe if you're doing it without realizing or something.
Like, what I don't get is, like, you know, they're saying, oh, you know, give it a time, you know, ask them nicely, be polite, be generous. Yeah, because that's worked. You know, when you tell someone and you give them a warning, don't do this again, what do they go and do? Fucking straight away. The same thing again. Like, it just doesn't make any goddamn sense.
It does not.
I don't know. How do you? Well, that's a question for you. How do you think they're enforcing rules? Because I know something came out about like Wales that they were enforcing the fines and stuff, and it was like 10 grand's worth that had been built up. But if that's the case, they fined 5 people.
Yeah. Well, I think Wales have been a bit more better at this than England, because they've obviously had people on the border and stuff telling people to go away if they're not, you know,
piss off.
But yeah, they did say it would be, you will be breaking the law if you meet more than 6 people. So they have made it an actual like law,
emergency. Yeah.
So that you can't do this. But you know, really, what's the priority of that? That's like a kid stealing some fucking sweets from a corner shop, or mass murderers out there.
I mean, you'd be lucky to get a kid to listen to something like that. I'm not allowed to hang out with my friends. Fuck you.
Oh yeah, these days.
I mean,
half the child population of fucking
little shit,
annoying little brats.
Yeah, exactly. No offense to any, you know, children. But I mean, let's face it. If you live in the UK, you are an irritating little brat. We all are. We all were once in our life. That's part of being a child.
I wasn't.
That's part of being, you know, that is part of being a child for some. But
it's a halo over my head.
Yeah, but no, like to name off a few places in Wales, obviously that's where I live. Rhondda Cynon Taf.
Don't tell them.
You know, don't tell them. They might find you. Merthyr Tydfil, Newport, and now where I live, Bridgend is now being threatened with lockdown. So yeah, apparently 2 people have died in the last 24 hours with COVID. The infection rate has shot up massively. So we went from something, I think, like maybe 1 person a week to like 19, and it's just rising. And that's just Bridgend. I mean,
in some places it's doubling like every 7 days. It's ridiculous. The cases
in Rhondda Cynon Taf, even with this is the thing, right? And this is even with the new measures being put in place for this lockdown crap, there's still 47 new cases that were caught out in the first week.
Yeah,
they don't work. the lockdown rules don't work because people are still not. I think Boris did say something along the lines of, we don't want to do another national lockdown, but it is looking like we're going to have to because people just aren't following the rules.
Yeah.
And I think that's just the fucking thing. Why do they even attempt?
It's like they're giving us all a warning, like a naughty school kid. Like, you know, if you don't follow the rules, we're gonna do stricter measures.
Yeah, and you know what? It's normally the people that are following the rules that get hurt the most.
Exactly. I was gonna say they're shouting to the small crowd there, because it's the ones who don't follow the rules. They're still not gonna follow the rules.
Yeah.
So it's gonna happen anyway, and we're at like 3. It's like a delay between reporting the cases, and so there's like 3 weeks gap. So whatever damage has been done has already been done by now.
Yeah. I mean, I think that the second wave that is incoming is going to be worse. I don't know what your thoughts are, but it's going to be worse than the first wave, and it's certainly going to cause more damage. As horrible as that may seem very pessimistic to some people. I mean, to be honest, look at the fucking world. It's not exactly great. You got a moron running the most powerful country in the world, in America. You have an ape running the UK into the ground and not doing his duty. It's just, the world is a scary place right now. even with like, and do you know what the irony thing of it is that the pandemic doesn't scare me. It's the people in charge that do. These people are meant to look after the countries, and all they're doing is running them into the ground, causing more diversity, causing issues and problems. It's like, really? Still, this is a thing that just we humans can't get right. Like, we can't get along. Why?
It's always been the case that the leaders are so out of touch with the normal people.
Yeah.
So
that was
it's
proven.
The power thing.
It was proven.
Yeah, a taste of power, and you don't care what anyone else thinks.
Yeah, I mean, it was proven. Boris was asked, how much does a healthcare make in this country? He couldn't answer. And he said they're getting paid adequately. They're not. They're underpaid. And that's been proven as well. And it's like, someone like that who has the nerve to look people... Like, the weird thing is I think people like Boris and stuff should go on a few shifts with some nurses and doctors and stuff and see what they have to go through.
Exactly. I mean, he does like visits to hospitals and things and shakes hands with everyone, but that's not the same, is it?
Well, no, he sees the shiny new, wards that have been built and everything looks clean and there's no real, danger or anything there because people are all dressed up nice. Oh, we're having a visit from Boris. Ooh, everyone get prepared. It's going to be such a wonderful time because we're going to see the fucking idiot that's running our country.
Yeah, it's funny they filmed him at a school. Like, obviously, it's one of the most outstanding schools in Britain. They won't accept any rough school around here.
Yeah. Come to Bridgend, mate.
The fact that within the first 5 minutes he already broke social distancing by washing his hands next to another kid, that just shows how difficult it is to actually put into practice.
I don't know. It's a tough topic to talk about now, I think.
Yeah.
And even though we do this because it is interesting, it is good to keep up to date on what's going on and stuff, but Christ, it is pretty fucking miserable and terrifying as well at the same time.
So we can move on from COVID if you like. Granted, I don't have anything else on the news.
I mean, that's the thing though. There is nothing else going on. It's just COVID and leaders being idiots. That's all that's left.
The priority list of things. COVID is always at the top.
I know that a couple of hours ago, Matt Hancock did make a statement. He said, follow COVID rules or they will get tougher. So, I mean, I hope they make them tougher. Please.
Well, the thing is, the damage has already been done.
I know,
we're
this
going
is
to go
the
into
thing.
this thing regardless.
I think the only advice people should take now is just be sensible when you're out, always wear a face mask, and keep your distance from people. There you go. Go back to the basics that we had back in March. Just stick to them, and we'll get rid of it again. It'll go down again.
Yeah.
But
we'll just reword that government slogan to space first and foremost. Keep your space from others. That is the most important thing.
Space.
Wear a mask. And wash your hands.
Space, mask, hands. We'll have to make that. We'll make it interesting.
Space, hands.
Space, face, hands. There you go. See Sean coming in.
I did do a little dance with it. Space, face, hands.
Oh, I love it. Space, face, hands. YMCA. Jesus. Right. Anything else on the news front? It's like, no.
I don't want to talk about the news anymore.
Yeah, I think we've all had enough of this shit. Fuck the news. Let's move on to gaming, and there's a lot.
Oh yes.
A lot of good stuff that's gone on.
I suppose the big one is that next generation consoles have announced their price, and pre-orders have become available for Xbox, or they have been for PS5 anyway.
I think they're coming soon. I don't think Xbox has released their pre-orders yet. But let's talk. Let's talk about the PS5 and the experience that we had pre-ordering ours, because we did pre-order ours. Sean got his from Amazon. I got mine from Argos. How was your experience pre-ordering it, Sean?
Actually, pre-ordering it wasn't too bad, but the waiting and the uncertainty, from the the press conference the night before, and then there's a tweet that said, "Oh, pre-orders may be coming as soon as tonight." So everyone was sending into a mass panic, like who's gonna crack first.
Yeah.
Obviously, in the UK at midnight, it was Game that opened their pre-orders first without telling anyone, without any warning. So obviously everyone's hammered that one, and like within half an hour they were sold out.
Yeah.
And I think Smiths did the midnight one as well. So I saw like at midnight Amazon sent a message to someone saying they're going to open their pre-orders at 9 a.m. So I was like, oh my god. So I eventually got to sleep and then woke up early and was like checking everywhere, like to see if things have sold out. And they've sold out everywhere. And then Amazon at 9, like the website crashed, but I opened my PC and I managed to get one quickly at like 3 minutes past 9. And by 9:30 they were all gone.
Jesus. Mad. Your experience seems smoother than mine.
Yeah. You're all kind of aware of it until I messaged you like, by the way, you can pre-order.
I had no fucking clue. And then everything had gone everywhere, so I was like, oh fuck. And then Argos came in clutch, and they were like, bruh, we got you.
Gotcha.
We're going to release them at midnight. They didn't release them at midnight because they fucking crashed their own site, the bellends. Yeah. And everything, it completely broke. Like, I think within 10 minutes, all their pre-orders had gone, apparently. And I woke up in the morning, I was like, oh, fuck. All right, well, I went on and I kept refreshing. And for some reason, the disc 1 became available. So I was like, fuck it, get it. Just fucking go for it. I want it, so yes. And pre-ordered it. And then got told that if we didn't receive a confirmation email within 2 hours, then the likelihood is we weren't getting our pre-order. So I was like, okay, that'll get refunded. Roll on last night, 2 days later, and I get a text off them going, your pre-order has been confirmed.
Oh, thank God.
And I'm like, okay, on the one hand, that's great. On the other hand, I had already planned ahead, you cunts, because you told me that it wasn't going to be available after 2 hours.
Yeah.
So now I've got a full Argos card, and I'm like, fam. Fuck's sake. So I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. But it was a disaster. And I think even PlayStation, Sony came out and were like, yeah, we're really sorry about how that went. That was really, really bad. We're so sorry. In the next few days, we're making more available. Why the fuck did you put a limit? Just be honest. First come, first serve. Simple as. You give each place a certain amount.
Strict rules for retailers to not do it without telling anyone, or do it at a certain time, like 9 a.m.
Yeah.
So people have chance, like, rather than they're coming online at like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Like Americans and stuff like that. Is
absolutely. And another thing, fucking make sure that their websites are capable of handling the traffic. I understand that when it comes to like big pre-orders and stuff like this, like you're bound to get a mass amount of people and complications will happen. It's like Black Friday but online. It's ridiculous. Yeah. But seriously, if you didn't anticipate how many people are going to come to your site, you're a fucking idiot. And you know,
and if you're a person who just doesn't happen to pay attention to the news or the gaming conference, but are still excited for the PS5, you'll have woke up so disappointed because everywhere is sold out and you didn't even know about it.
Yeah, I'm glad that Sony did come out though and were like, hey, there are more available. We're going to make them available. We're really sorry. That was a good thing. Still unacceptable. They shouldn't have fucked it up in the first place, but there we are.
In the States, they had like a really good scheme where they invited certain players to like have like an exclusive time limit to order one from them, like just straight from them. Obviously there's some kind of disappointed people like, I've been a customer for 13 years and I didn't get an invite. But
I'm entitled.
I know. So that was kind of a good way of doing it, to like stop spam bots and like ordering about 50 of them and then selling them for like 20 grand online.
Yeah, that shit still happened, by the way.
Bit annoying.
So many of them like have been ordered by bots and are like confirmed and shit. Like, it's nuts.
I don't know how they do it so fast, and they must just be like in the basement just doing that all the time, like
in their mom's basement playing with themselves.
I can't wait for it to be released.
Sorry.
But yeah, it's a bit annoying. Like there's a few people who like ordered it off like every single website going, so they have like 5. And then they're just like, oh, well, I had to make sure I get one in time for release. And, you know, that's like 5 slots that other people have missed out on.
Yeah. Don't be selfish. Like, I think the thing with me is I just thought the way I looked at it was... Sorry, I'm creaming my tattoo. So, if the The way I looked at it was like, if I got one, cool. If I didn't and I wasn't there in time, oh well, it is what it is. I'll get one later on. But, to have, the company just fuck up that badly and be like, oh, this is the rules now. If you didn't get a thing within the X amount of time, you don't get one. Cool. I'll take that into account. I can now go order something else that I was planning on getting. Put that on my Argos card instead. It won't fill it up. 2 days later, it's confirmed you're getting it. Okay, great. Fuck you for lying. Don't say something if it's not true. Good. Bad as politicians.
Yeah, they definitely could have handled that better. And Xbox have already announced the date when pre-orders are going to be live for the Xbox X. And we should really talk about the prices of them. And is it $449 for the Xbox?
I think so. Yeah.
And then $299 for the digital less version.
Yeah, it's like Xbox One S or X or something. S, I think.
Because they've gone down where their cheaper console is not as powerful as the main console, and it is digital. But where Sony has gone the route of they're both the same, but one is just digital.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I was quite surprised by the prices for the PS5s. I'll be honest. I didn't expect them to be lower than 500.
Yeah.
I thought maybe the discless one would be 450, but 449 for the disc and 359, I believe, 90 quid off, for the discless. Which
we're talking pounds, by the way.
Yeah, pounds. Sorry, but yeah, that's it's nuts. Impressive.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not really a shock when you think about it. I mean, Sony lost out on the first year of the Xbox PS3. Sorry, came out. They lost shit tons of money on that first year because they sold them too cheap. But they got people to buy them, and that was the thing. And then Last of Us happened, and we know what happened from there. But I mean,
someone did the maths on release prices of these consoles, and apparently with today's inflation, the PS1 would have cost over £700 in today's currency. So it's quite cheap in comparison to that, considering what you're getting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it'll be an interesting. I am looking forward to it, mind.
What do you think the pros and cons of getting the disc version over the digital version?
Do you know, I was thinking about this because when I couldn't get the digital version, I was debating whether to even bother. Because obviously, as I told you prior, I was like, "Oh, I'm going to get digital. It's cheaper and makes more sense." But thinking about it. If you don't get the disc drive one, you're missing out on being able... I know it's fucking redundant at this point, and some people will be like, oh, you're a boomer. But, watching DVDs or Blu-rays, you miss out on that completely. Games that are cheaper, because second-hand games, you're never going to be able to get them. So, I mean...
You're just really limited on the digital version to the PlayStation Store. That's where you have to get all your games at full price on release day, if that's what you want.
Yeah.
And all the Ultimate Editions are more tempting and stuff.
Yeah,
but I'm still a fan of having the physical media.
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes more sense as well. Something just tells me that the people who got the digital one are going to regret it.
I mean, so it's £90 more. So, I mean, if you've already got a catalogue of PS4 disc games like I have, I've got Red Dead and Fallout and stuff like that. That's already stuff I don't have to buy again on the digital version. So that's already 30 quid saved. And then however many games you buy on the disc version of the PS5, and if you decide to sell them on again, you've already made your money basically.
Yeah,
you've closed that gap. So, and we have these consoles for years and years, so I think it's going to be more worth it for the disc version,
definitely.
In my opinion. But if you're someone who loves digital things, you don't want to have a big clutter of games and stuff, then you've only ever bought digital, then that is fine. You'll still get exactly the same experience. You'll just be out of pocket.
Yes. I think the thing is, I think the deciding factor for me when I decided it was going to be better to get a disc version was just after I also decided to refund my purchase of the new COD. So, yeah, I don't know. The gaming industry is a toxic, disgusting industry, and I just kind of had enough of it. So I was like, I'll just play all my old games. That's fine. I've got a bunch of games that are digital anyway that I can go back and play if I really want to. Fuck it.
So COD obviously had a PlayStation exclusive alpha weekend, I didn't manage to get a chance to download it. I was away on holiday. Well, oh shit, I was away.
It's okay, I'll
yeah,
beep it. It'll be a sex party that you went to.
We were allowed to go. Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Different rules.
So, yeah, I had a chance to play it, but you know, you did. Was it any good?
Well, Sean, glad you asked. It was like every other COD, and just as shit. I don't know, man. I think the only thing I'm interested in COD now is kind of the campaigns. The zombies looks cool. I mean, but I think the thing for me is just live services and kind of multiplayer games that are heavy multiplayer games. I know there's a single player to COD and everything, but let's face it, you don't buy COD for the single player. Most of the time, you're going to buy it for the multiplayer. And I don't know, they have these long lifespans on them, but what's the point? A new COD comes out every year. Why bother? You know, I think I'm just done.
3 or 4 generations of consoles now with every year new COD.
Yeah,
like seriously, people are not sick of it by now. Yeah.
It's fucking exhausting. And I think I was sat there and I did stream it. I played 2 matches of TDM, I think it was, and 1 match of domination, or kind of like war domination, so you could go around in tanks and stuff. And it was cool. It was COD. It got boring after 3 games. I was like, I'm done. Oh fuck this, you know. And I was just, after that, I was kind of like, you know, I think I'm done with AAA games as well, mostly, because just whatever. Like Cyberpunk 2077, I'm really looking forward to. That's a game I'm looking forward to, but it's single player. That's where did all they go? I know. Ooh, Last of Us 2 came out though, didn't it? Yeah, it did, and I was very unhappy with it. But I don't know. I played through that again, by the way, with my mum, and actually, it's all right. It's not the worst, but
you knew what the disappointing twist was.
Yeah, exactly.
So you could be disappointed again.
Exactly. But I don't know. I miss the days of when you would buy a game and there wasn't like a fucking ultimate edition. There wasn't like a gold edition or a silver edition, a 12 person edition, a sexy edition, a nudity edition, a censored edition, a fuck you edition. You know, just all different editions. Just
gold, platinum, ultimate.
Yeah, just one game. You bought the game and you had everything with it. You could unlock everything in the game. There wasn't these bullshit. And maybe I'm just getting old, right? Maybe I'm getting old now, and I can't be asked to spend that much money on a game. But I don't know. Gaming is getting so ruined. It used to be something so special. This has been a miserable podcast so far, but it's true, man. I mean, it's true, man. I mean, think about it, right? Nate, what's one of your favorite childhood games? Let's go. Spyro. See, Spyro, great game. Fucking plenty to do in it. And guess what? You paid one fucking price for it, and you got all of it.
Yeah.
And then something like, I used to play Time Splitters Future Perfect. That was one of my favorite ones, the 3rd Time Splitters game, and so much stuff you can do in that game.
Yeah.
I can't understand. Like, the gaming industry got so greedy so quickly, and it makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
Like, I guess, you know, corporate money, but I just
we haven't even mentioned the fact that games in Europe for now are being increased by £10.
Yep. Which is another reason that I've just said fuck off. Like, I mean, why you did this? When the PS4 came out, you increased games to 60 quid and people uproared about it. And I said this on stream. Things will never change because it just seems like an impossible thing to change. Yeah. Every single person that buys games would have to refuse to pay, and that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Because parents will go, all right, there's the money for the game. Or, you know, rich
obviously
people.
Now they're 70 quid.
Yeah.
For a standard edition.
Yeah, that's a base one. So you don't even get the ultimate sexy stuff, you know, like the season pass. Or a battle pass where you can unlock crap. So, it's just,
how often do you buy games at launch? I'd say for me, I don't think it's like it's kind of rare. Maybe like once a year I'll buy something at launch as like a treat because it falls into the hype. But yeah, wouldn't say I buy game. Especially now that they're going up to 70 quid, I'd probably just wait because sales happen so often these days.
Yeah, absolutely. Me, I used to be fucking awful with it. Every game going, I'd buy it. It was ridiculous. Now, no. Don't. I think the last one I did was the Avengers, and I highly regret doing that because that game is bitterly disappointing. But I mean, again, no fucking harm if you are out there and you love the game. That's more power fucking to you. You know, if it makes you happy, that's all that matters. But I don't know. For me, I miss single player experiences and just games where you'd buy it and that was the game. So I've just turned to like, I think any indie game. If an indie game came out straight away and I was interested, I'd buy it straight away. That would probably be the only time. Because indie games and indie developers give a shit about the community, unlike AAA ones that just go, "Have you got money? Can you give us more money? You know, we only have a few billion. We need a bit more." So I don't know.
It's at the stage where they should just scrap paying for online multiplayer with PlayStation because they're already making a killing anyway. So I don't know why they need to charge for it.
Yeah,
but whatever.
I think
we're used to it now.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. Is it's just become the norm, hasn't it? Oh, the gaming industry's done something shit again. What a surprise! Let's just move on. And it's like, no, just fucking call them out on it. But it'll never.
It's because it's not like an instant thing. It's like a slow over time thing, isn't it? So people have a chance to get used to it.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a massive leap when a game goes up £10. Like But you know, over several years when it's gone up £30 from PS2, it's a big amount.
Oh, I said this on stream as well. I wouldn't be surprised if in 5 years a base game, and this is a base game, not the super sexy editions, just the base game will be £100.
Yeah,
guarantee it. 5-10 years it'll be £100 to buy a base game, and then when they're on sale it'll be 50 quid.
Yeah.
It's not on. It's not acceptable, and yet here we are. They're doing it all the fucking time. Mm-hmm. It's I did this. It's times like this. I'm like, I wish I had a bigger platform. I wish, just to make this fucking change. Because it sucks.
You just be on TikTok.
Fuck off with TikTok. That's where all the fucking flip flop TikTok. That's where all the pedophiles go. Oh fuck! I said the word that YouTube don't like. Sorry. So this will never get spread around. That's it. It's fucked.
So moving on.
But on a different note, shall we say, of gaming related talk. Any games that you've been playing recently? Any new ones that have come into your view? I always ask this question because I think it's a good question, but normally we don't have many differentiations. But anything?
I haven't really been playing any new games recently. I know some games have had updates recently. Fallout 76 has had an update, a big update again. It's like 30 gigs when I downloaded it the other day.
Bloody hell.
It's to add like a whole different system of leveling for the enemies so that they scale to your levels so you can play with friends. It's like they're constantly improving it to be their vision, which they set out ages ago, which is quite good of them. They brought out like legendary perk cards and like new events you can play with your friends and stuff.
Yeah.
Overall, seems like an improvement, but they're still doing the season, so like that.
It's still got microtransactions in it, even though you paid for the game.
I don't like Fallout how
yeah.
I know Division 2 is going to get an update on Tuesday with Summit mode.
I will be streaming the Summit, but which for you guys who are watching this, because this will probably go up by Monday now. I won't say today just in case, but by Monday this will be going up. That'll be being streamed Tuesday, but I'll probably play a little bit with Sean on my own first, because I just want to see how much torture I'm going to be putting myself through doing the same boring shit, because all I've heard is bad stuff about it.
Yeah, it's not great reviews from the people who've already played.
Yeah, it's not great.
They have made some changes, but they basically said, well, we're going to ship it as it is anyway, and then change it later.
Massive don't care.
And we're not going to give you an next-gen version, because we're probably not going to support this game.
Yeah.
It'll be backwards compatible, though.
I mean, to be fair, have you seen their roadmap?
No.
It's like Season 3 and the Summit come out now, September 22nd.
Blank.
And then the next thing isn't until December. That's Season 4 and then that Nightmare.
It's like a Halloween event, isn't it?
Yeah, that Nightmare thing. But it's coming out in December. Or November. No, December. End of the year.
It would make sense if it was around Halloween, wasn't it? When's that? Like, end of October.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
But no, that's when Season 3's on. They could never put extra content out at the same time as another season. God forbid they have to work for it. So no, but that'll be streamed. That'll be interesting.
But definitely.
Gonna torture ourselves with that for a bit.
If I got a list of all the PlayStation 5 announcements, I would have.
Yes, no, because there was stuff like Days Gone and
There's the new
Battlefield 1.
PS Plus collection, isn't there, where you can get like a few of the hard-hitting PS4 games just at the very start of PS5, which is quite good. And then,
Yeah, I'll admit that was actually a nice little surprise because there were some good games on that list.
So Days Gone, God of War, like things that I haven't had the chance to play yet, so I'm going to get those, which is good. I think the only thing that you haven't played is Persona 5, which is on there. So that'll be
everything.
Interesting.
Yeah. I will be glad to play Days Gone again though. I miss that game.
Yeah.
That game was a fucking good game. The dog's like, I like it.
Shut them both in there because you don't want to see any sights from outside. So Spider-Man Miles Morales, there's like an Ultimate Edition, which includes the remaster of Spider-Man PS4. That's the only edition that you can buy to get the remaster, which is a bit shitty.
Can I be honest? I wouldn't even waste my fucking money because the remaster is probably one pixel that's been changed in the entire fucking thing.
It already played well and looked great anyway. Like, I don't really know how they can improve that so much.
It's like the excuse they did. Oh, buy all 3 Mafia games. The third and the second look so good. The second one looks worse and the third one looks the fucking same.
Yeah.
And has more bugs.
And I think Cyberpunk, that's not going to have a PS5 version until 2021.
Yeah. I think in all fairness, they said they were working on the PS5 version anyway, but that one was taking longer because at the time they didn't have all the specs and stuff for the PS5, so they didn't know what they were working with.
Yeah. Oh, what do we think of cross-gen games? So obviously Miles Morales, that's going to be on PS4 as well. Horizon Forbidden West. That's what it's called, right? That's going to be on the previous generation as well. Yeah, all these games were built for the PS4 from the ground up. How are they going to work on the PS4 then? Yes. Obviously, they're probably built and designed for PS4, but just upscaled for PS5.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what they've done. And then again, it's a AAA fucking gaming industry thing. It's a little tactic, so they can just lots of money for little work. Like that's how it is.
Sony were like, we believe in generations, so we're not going to do cross-gen games. But now that they realise people are probably not going to pick up a PS5 this year if they've missed out on all the pre-order chaos.
Yeah.
Well, we'll just release them on PS4 instead. You know,
everyone
can play together.
I get it.
It's good on one hand, but
yeah, I get the appeal of it because it's like, well, not everyone can afford a new console straight away. Fair enough. Here's all the games that are meant to be coming out for it. They might not look as good as they should, but they'll still look pretty fucking epic.
Yeah.
However, they've gone, no, these were built for the PS4, but we're just going to upscale them a little.
Yeah. And it just means if it plays on the PS4 and it's not going to have major content cut from it, it's going to be severely held back on the PS5 because it has to be on PS4. Like, I know there's a big talk about on Horizon.
Yeah.
You can fly on the PS5 version or something, but not on the PS4 version. So if you can on the PS5, then it's not going to be a major part of the story on the PS4 version.
Yeah. Can you imagine? They just take out a section of story. Who would think that would ever... What company would take an entire section of a story out just so because it's on a different console or a different company? Avengers. Well, I don't know what kind of company would do that.
I might pick up Avengers on the PS5 when it gets dirt cheap.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I mean, I would. If you get it, I'll be glad because at least I'll have someone to play it with. But
oh yeah,
I know Kieran's got it, but you know.
Go dogs, go.
Happy. I don't know.
So yes, we'll form our fire team on Adventures. What else was it? I can't remember.
There was quite a few actually, admittedly.
Yeah. But I know there's Final Fantasy 16 that was like headlining it. Demon Souls and stuff like that.
I think people were kind of miffed at that one.
Yeah.
It's a remaster? You fucking bastards.
Yeah. Resident Evil 8 looks very good.
Apparently it's not a sequel to the 7th one. And apparently it's not Resi 8. Oh, I've heard that.
It's called like Last something.
Yeah, it's
But then
like
it
just a
changed into
village.
the 8, and it was like Resident Evil.
Yeah, and then something came out like a few days later that Capcom said it wasn't a sequel to the 7th one, and it's like, why have you named it 8?
Why just Resident Evil to go, isn't it?
Why does Chris Redfield look like a buff Arnold Schwarzenegger from when he was younger? I don't get it.
I know that on launch of PS5, we're all going to get Astro Bot Adventure for free. That's like, it comes preloaded onto the consoles. That's cool.
That's weird, but cool.
Yeah. It's like this is PS5.
Buy our PS5, you get a free game.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? But then the thing is, I think Xbox are going to win this one.
Yeah.
PS5 can't do anything from PS3 backwards. Xbox, the new Xbox, plays everything.
That is a bit of a bummer for PS5.
Although, I will say this much. I can't imagine that every single game that is backwards compatible with the Xbox is going to work perfectly. I imagine there'll be a few that are kind of fucking glitchy or not working properly, but I mean, I still have a case full of PS2 games that I can no longer play.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I suppose, like, nostalgia makes the idea of playing PS2 games better than probably the actual experience of it. So I'm not too fussed. I'm not going to be able to play PS3 and PS2 games. But I mean, I can if you're on like PS Now or something, or they've got some on the store and like. But so I'm not too fussed about that. I know it just for people who've got massive collections of PS2 games and stuff. I mean, I did before I traded them all in at CX for like 20p.
And they'll sell them on for like 3 or 4 quid each.
Oh yeah. That's annoying about CEX. They sell games for higher than the retail price, even if they're used. What is wrong with them?
It's like, I think it was like I was like, oh, when Modern Warfare Remastered, remake came out last year, I was like, oh, I'll go and have a look in CEX because I knew someone had been traded in. No, they were like 60 quid used. It was like, what the fuck?
Like, I traded in my Switch, and like 2 weeks later, they're like, "How do you like the Switch you bought?" I was like, "No, you bought it from me."
You should have sent back. How do you like it?
How would you rate it?
Wow. Amazing.
Okay. Have you got anything else gaming related to talk about? I know since we've been on it for quite a while.
A couple of games that I played through. Did the Alan Wake expansion for Control. That was actually pretty good. Interesting little way of introducing Alan Wake into the universe. I think they kind of just pushed it in because, let's face it, Remedy are in a lot of trouble right now. So, but no, it was good. The Long Reach.
Okay.
It's like a 2-bit horror game, indie game. Actually, I highly recommend people go play it because it's very good. It's fun. It's a good story. The writing's excellent, and the developers are lovely. So, yeah.
And it doesn't cost any quid to buy it.
Yeah, it doesn't cost a fuck. It doesn't cost a kidney.
Just a little peek.
Yeah. Other than that, I think the last question I have is: are you excited to get your hands on the PS5 when it turns up?
I'm excited to get my hands on it. This glass.
I'm gonna touch it before I do anything. I'm gonna stroke it.
I'm gonna be pretty excited on the launch day. It's annoying that it's releasing like a week earlier in the US.
Yeah, that's
get
kind
all
of
that
shit.
Spoiler. Everyone's already gonna have their hands on it before we get it. But
fuck them.
Yeah, I will be excited.
Yeah.
Even though I probably haven't pre-ordered any PS5 games or anything like that.
Yeah, no.
I'm just more excited for the hardware upgrades for the current games I had. Like, anyway.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how it runs. Like PS4. It'd be not. Do you know what I'm looking forward to the most, Sean?
Yes.
Not having a console sounding like it's going to explode.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, my PS4 Pro just sounds like it's taken off every 2 seconds. It's fucking.
PS5 was designed to just, not have any noise.
Yeah.
Designed around the ventilation.
Literally.
And it's got like a hard drive as well that lets you just instantly read things and. Yeah.
No loading. Oh, can you imagine no loading screens? That's
Apparently
something.
It's like 2 seconds or something.
Yeah, I will say this much in regards to one more thing on the gaming thing. Apparently, some old games, not all, and none have actually been announced which ones, but some games that have loading screens on the PS4, when they go to the PS5, won't have those loading screens anymore. It'll just be straight in. So,
yeah, That's the power of the SSD on there.
The power.
Unlimited power. And this is just the start of the generation. Only going to get better
Hopefully.
when, like, developers get their hands on the system and like build things actually for the PS5.
Yeah.
I'm just a bit
unless it's
a bit
Ubisoft.
concerned.
Or
Oh yeah. A bit concerned about the 825 gigabytes of storage. How long is that going to last? Because obviously 100 gigabytes of that is going to be iOS software, or not iOS, system software. They're obviously going to sell their own version of like expandable storage, but that is going to cost an arm and a leg, I bet. Well,
you could just get Seagate. Seagate's already been confirmed that it's going to work with the PS5.
Yeah, I think I actually have a 2 terabyte one of those.
That's what I did. I switched mine to, I think it was 2 terabytes.
Well, obviously the dream, well, not the dream, the idea of theirs ones, obviously you can play the games off them as well.
Yeah.
So
let's hope. Only time will tell.
But yeah, that about sums up our excitement and anticipation of the PS5.
Yeah. I can't wait.
I'm just glad to pre-order one, so I'll actually get one on release day. We'll both have them on release day. Oh my god!
I know. We'll both be sitting there on Skype together, like, oh my god, mine's loading up. It'd be wonderful. But yeah.
Just me.
Yeah. But yeah. Okay. End of the gaming news. On to the films and TV. Have you watched anything, Sean?
This is where things go downhill for me.
This is where things get bleak.
No. Yeah, I've started watching The Boys season 2 on Amazon. That's very good so far. God, I hate Homelander. But it's a good one. They've done it so well. Yeah, I can't really complain about it. A lot of the character development is still there, and all the anti-heroes and like just the way they've shot it and stuff. Oh, it's so good. As far as films, I don't think I've actually watched any films I can think of. Maybe I have, but I just can't remember them because I've been away over the past week, so I don't know.
Yeah, fair point.
What about you, my friend?
Went back and watched both the Amityville horror films. That was quite cool.
Okay.
Did enjoy that. Good one with Ryan Reynolds. Always has his shirt off. I can't complain. And then you got Michael McIntyre's new live show that he did for Netflix. That was fucking hysterical. Highly recommend that. It's very, very good. Good watch. Always, it's going to make you giggle. And then I went back and I've started watching through Orange is the New Black again. So,
all right.
Because it's been a long time since I watched it, and I was like, do you know what? I never finished this, but I'll watch it from the beginning again. I'm addicted again. I'm binging it.
Yeah.
It's really bad, Sean. Like I can't stop. I'm addicted.
I think I've been watching through before I went away. I went on a binge of Ozark season 3, I think it is the latest one. Yeah, it's so good. Knock off Breaking Bad, but it's so good.
It's knock off, but it's fucking
yeah. Literally, all I've been watching is series, not films. So what the hell?
Yeah. There was another one. What one was it? Oh, I finally watched The Princess Bride. Finally. And I love it.
Okay.
It's a great film. I hadn't watched it in years, and I had loads of people fucking telling me to watch it. I never saw the hype. Yeah, like Andre the Giant
girl,
stuff.
you gotta watch it.
Yeah, literally. I was being told I had to, so I did. And it was fucking beautiful. I loved it.
God, let's have a pillow fight.
Pillow fight. Yeah, no. It was good. It was good. I really loved it. It was really enjoyable. So, yeah. I think that's it. Films tends to be a very quick one for those of you who don't normally watch. But if you have any recommendations for us, let us know.
Yes. I forgot. I was going to say, anyone who in the chat, feel free to comment. Oh wait, we're not live.
Yeah, sadly.
If you'd like to post a comment, that is very good. We will read those.
We will. But now we move to the point in the conversation that is the random things.
This is all you, my friend.
It's never happened before. We've never done it. It's all new. Explosions, James, on the screen. Explosions. But yeah. So, random things. Have you got any random topics?
Oh, fuck.
Here we go. And this is where it all falls apart.
why don't you go first?
I'm so glad you asked.
Ooh.
I,
Whatever, leave.
I didn't fucking think of anything. What's your favourite, tea or coffee? It's a random thing.
It is.
Very random
Well,
thing.
I kind of like both of them. Maybe I'm a strange person to do that, but I do like both, and I probably have them more tea than coffee. Oh my god, I think there's a parcel here or something.
Like a true British person. Are we about to hear dogs?
We're about to hear dogs in a parcel.
This.
Oh my god.
Here, in the wild habitat of Shoneland, we are about to hear the anger of the guard dog.
But yeah, I go for both. I do drink green tea as well, so green tea, and coffee.
Ooh. I haven't had green tea in a long time. I probably should. They're meant to be healthy.
Yeah.
But you know me. Pinnacle of health, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. He's messing with his Amazon parcel. Oh my god, he can hardly walk.
He's carrying a large package. He's walking to your door, Sean.
I've opened his blind, so it's like I'm literally spying on him right now.
I did nothing of the sort of any random things that would have caused embarrassment to me.
I look forward to watching that back then.
Oh yeah, it'll all be in there. But yeah. Okay, another question that I had for you. In the light of me getting my new tattoos again, because I want to look like the illustrated man, do you have any plans? I think I've asked you this before. I'm not too sure if I've asked you on podcast, probably at some point. But, do you have any plans for any more tattoos or anything that has struck you, or are you quite content right now?
Well, I don't have any plans. If I were to get like another one, it'd probably be gaming or horror themed or something.
It must be for Plenty.
It's for you, Sean. Go get it. Hi.
Yeah.
Hiya.
Where were we?
See, this is the random things section where random things happen. We're on tattoos.
I don't have any plans, but yeah, I suppose I don't have the itch to kind of get more all the time. It's not really a high priority for me at the moment, but yeah, I'm open to it in the future.
When it's safer.
Yeah, when it's safer, and if I've just got some spare funds and I want to do something, I want to express myself. But yeah, I'm quite happy with the one I've got, even though it's like kind of very low key, but it's something. I got rid of my rebellious side with it.
The one of that is there, right there. That season, it's like on the side of the box. I've still got to finish Lost. I still haven't finished it. Every time I get into it, I watch like 4 episodes, and I'm like, right, okay, I'll definitely come back to this. 2 months later.
It's timeless though. It's like an extended film.
It just goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
It never
60s
ends.
joy.
And then the ending.
No matter what you hear about the ending, it's still good. A lot of people think.
Fair enough, yeah. Oh, right. Okay. Well, I don't know. I'm like looking around like, is there anything? Oh, okay. I guess that's a random thing I could talk about quickly. Just to, I can show you guys on the camera. You can come with me. Come here. So this is my new PC. It's not that impressive. It's very basic.
Hey, I'm on TV, yo.
I'm on TV, yo. Mama made it. I can make it go flashy. I'm going to end up turning it off now, aren't I? Can you imagine? I'm trying to like show off the colours and then I just turn off the fucking thing. Yeah.
I love it when they do that.
Puppy.
He's on there for the
No.
something. Are you planning to get more tattoos?
Not anymore, no. Not for now. I have plans. Like I know what other tattoos I want to get, but I think for now, I'm quite comfortable not having any more for like a good year or so. I love tattoos, don't get me wrong. I'd happily spend all my money on them, but I can't afford to right now. Like, tattoos are now back burner for a little bit of time.
You ink skin, you.
Yeah, this sleeve is getting there.
Yeah.
I've just got to get all that done, and then I can get it filled in, and it'll look all pretty. But until then, I've got this naked, fucking stretched piece of shit. But yeah.
Let me admire your naked stretch piece of shit.
Yeah. I can't look at it. It's minging. That's why I just get tattoos. I never have to look at my body again.
Oh, deep.
Deep, man. I cut deep. Right. Anything else? How's your dogs?
Very good. Obviously, just been away. We took the dogs with us. They loved every single minute of it. Surprised how much energy they have, because they can keep up with us doing like massive hikes, and they they literally can go further than I can. It's like, what the hell? Such little legs, such massive energy.
Yeah.
And if I can, well, look at, yeah, come here. No, she's scared. No, come here. Oh, here's and all that. Oh, yeah. Why?
Oh, it's censored her.
Come
Oh.
by my face. Come by my face.
Oh. Hello.
Who's that? Do you remember him? Yeah, he's alright. Tosser.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Literally.
I am a self-admitted tosser. Just
But at least people admit their mistakes sometimes. Oh, yeah.
It's just a lot of tossing.
I think that's the point where we need to end it.
I don't even know if any of this is going to make it in. I don't know. I'm going to watch through it and be like, no.
Put it off like 5 minutes earlier. But
Yeah,
yes, shall we just capture it?
Can do. I mean, we can wrap it up there. Well, what a wonderful, wonderful time it has been. Again, apologies if you were looking forward to watching this live. Unfortunately, the internet being a shit is out of my control. I tried my best. I turned everything off. I don't know why it wasn't working, but today it's being a bitch.
It's like you get all this high-end equipment and then there's just the basic things fail, you know?
Literally, yeah. That's it. It's the basic shit that let me down. But yes, apologies for this obviously going up late as well. It is what it is. It won't happen next week because there won't be one next week. Remember, we do these once every 2 weeks now. Again, the two. The reason. Not one, but two. The reason we do it every 2 weeks now is just because it's more fun for us. We were struggling to find stuff to talk about. I know this one has been a little bit short, but blame me.
I'm surprised by that. I felt like we had loads to talk about.
I think the problem is we had a lot of new stuff to talk about, but trust me, when you are on this side of it and you're not doing something live and you haven't got people to bounce off of, it's just you and the other person. It's fucking hard because it is miserable. So, and I don't want to talk to my friend and make him fucking miserable and depressed for the rest of the day. I want him to smile. I'll be happy, but that's hard when you're talking about the news. So, yeah, but it is what it is. Hopefully the next one will be slightly longer, and who knows, maybe we'll try and do another one live at some point. So to everyone that watched this, thank you very much for watching. It's always appreciated. Thank you to Sean for doing this with me. I feel like if I did this on my own, I might have a fucking mental breakdown. So, thank you.
I'll keep you in check.
Just, yes. But, yeah, thank you very much to everyone for watching. We both appreciate it massively, and we hope you have enjoyed.
Have a wonderful day.
Have a wonderful day, evening, and nighttime. And if you are with your partner, wear protection, because the world's fucked enough as it is. So thank you very much for watching. And with Sean's disapproval shake of the head, we'll leave it there. Thank you, and goodbye.
Bye.